titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Back again, Tuesday night. Let's go. Oh, I should probably hit this button.
No,
There we go. Thank you, Restream, fixing the background and everything. Shout out to Danny Damage, or the ghost of Danny Damage tonight.
Good evening.
Yep.
Yeah, this lighting's still just rubbish, so I will haunt your podcast for another evening.
Well, welcome. We got many things to talk about. We're going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Especially today, Danny. I really don't care today. I could have done this show. I couldn't have. It really wouldn't matter to me. But I'm doing it. Said I was going to do it. I was thinking about it all day. I made a thumbnail, so I'm doing it. We're talking about evolution, everything else. Get hitting all the likes and the subscribes and hit all the buttons, please. Don't make me ask more than once, or else. And but maybe that's one of the main reasons that bums me out today. We had 31 viewers on YouTube for our last 2.5 hour live. That was magnificent. I thought it was a great one.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was a good night.
It was a great show. You should go watch that live. But then it just upset me because I'm scrolling around on the YouTubes late night, when I should be sleeping. And I see like a podcast called Bill Todd and Bob or something. And I'm like, I see 32 viewers. And I'm like, okay, so this is as good as us, right? So I click on it. They had 3.5 hour live stream. You know what it was?
It's the shits.
Total shits. It was terrible. I didn't listen. I mean, I scrubbed through it. They're talking about, and this is no offense to you guys, okay? No offense to anybody out here that's not getting a lot of views. I'm not getting a lot of views, all right? I'm in the same boat, but I don't stink. I don't suck, all right? These guys are talking about the most mundane, boring shit, and 3 dudes, right? One of them goes and comes back from the kitchen, apparently, while I'm scrubbing through this thing, and he's like, potato or sweet potato? Like he's about to get cooking or do something else because everybody's so they were just hanging out. So I'm doing an actual show. I prepare for it. I get guests. I do things, right? I'm moving and shaking out here. And none of these platforms are playing along, Danny. TikTok's definitely not playing along. They are It's so crazy to me how this is working. And I feel like I'm being, like those movies where the main character is feels like they're crazy, but it's because there are outside forces making them seem like they're crazy.
Gaslit.
I'm not crazy about this. I'm not just bitching and complaining. I do put a lot of work into certain things, and then when I post it up, so if I post a picture of Matt Riddle that's going to OnlyFans, which we'll talk about in a little while, right? And say Matt Riddle's going to do an OnlyFans, ha ha he he. People see it. And they actually show it on the TikTok specifically. And then I post some of my own stuff, like a meme I'll make or whatever. It won't show it to anybody. Zero medios on that. And over and over and over again, because I test things out. I'm like, wait a second. Let me try posting this tomorrow. Again, different time. Whatever. Nope. We don't want anything from you, Dr. Huge. Just post slop or nonsense that has nothing to do with your brand or whatever you're trying to do or push, and we'll allow that, but we won't allow anything else because I'm not really doing anything wrong. You understand, Danny? I digress. Let me hand the mic over to Danny for a while.
No, that's fine. It's understandable. YouTube and TikTok are shitehawks when it comes to stuff like that. It's. I don't want to blow smoke up Elon Musk's backside, but Twitter does seem to be really good for that. Just you can put your stuff on there; they're not going to start bitching at you because you say this or that. And if people like similar things, it'll show up on there. The other ones, it seems to be more like pay to win.
I feel like even X, who I like, it is the best one out of all of them, but that's not saying much. Because, I mean, come on. I remember being on the old Twitter, which I didn't even really care for. It was like a thing. The IWC was not as, I don't know what you would call it, just childish, less mature. As we're talking about pro wrestling, but I'm saying it, they were more mature in the way that, like, people could build with one another. Where now there's no building like that with anybody out here. Nobody follows back. Nobody does anything. Nobody's interested in what anybody else is doing. And it's going to get worse because of AI. Because these kids are going to start getting an AI, and then they're going to be even more focused in on just themselves. And when that happens, what's entertainment going to look like at that point, or anything? And shout out to everybody here, by the way. Sasha Rain's in the house. Coach. Canada Day, partying, and still watching the doc. That's right. Very patriotic of you. Shout out to Canada, where Hansy's from, one of our regulars around here. Shout out to all the Canadians, except one Canadian. Can you guess who I'm talking about, Danny? A little bit of wrestling news I'm going to interject with.
Kevin Owens.
No, but that's a good guess.
He's fat!
That later on. We got to get to one Canadian first before any others today. Not to praise him, but to go shame on you. And that Canadian is Liv Morgan's stalker.
God fucking damn it, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, makes me mad too. Liv Morgan's stalkers from Canada drove all the way to Orlando to go on her doorstep. Did you hear this story, Danny?
No.
Yes. So he looks a little Asian-y, I don't know. Maybe he's mixed up with all kinds. He looks like Mongolian. So, and the worst part about it, that's not even the worst part, Danny. The worst part about it is the thinning hair. His hair he had long, like a big hairdo, but it was so thin and so stupid looking. And he looked crazy, which he is. Don't ever
like
go
Baron Corbin's hair before he cut it.
In a way worse because he had more hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a full, imagine a 70s classic rock like haircut that's not long, but just down to here. I should have just got the picture. But you know what? I thought about it and I'm like, is there a percentage of a chance that he could get out of jail and then come find me? Just say, this is the one podcast everybody sees, right? And then I get, he shows up on my door with a pellet gun that actually pierces my temple or something by accident. Because he did have a pellet gun on the porch.
Right. Did he point it at Liv Morgan?
He's standing at the door with it. He waited there 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we've discussed before. I don't envy the lasses that have to deal with things like this, or just like even day-to-day normal, like people guys waiting at airports or outside the bathroom. But yeah, just when you put yourself out there on social media, even though it's part of your job to be like, here's a new picture of me, new profile pic, and come watch my match on Wednesday or whatever, it's still, it's shit. They shouldn't have to deal with this.
Yep. These guys are crazy, man. I mean, this is now, we got the poop guy that went to years ago that was at the Performance Center, showed up there. Then you got the Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose. Then you got the Roxy Perez one. And then you got this one, the Liv Morgan. Jeez. And I'm sick of you people. All right? I'm talking generally to the world. I'm sick of you people. Imagine stories like this existing still in this day and age. We're going backwards. And this is why I've been upset all day long, is because when I'm in public and I'm around people and And then people, they're very inconsiderate. I can't stand the world. All right. Guys are obnoxious. You go into wrestlers' houses, you go into airports. Bronson Reed's pleading with people online. Like, he's just like, I don't do autographs. All right. And not at airports. Makes sense to me. I'm not the guy that goes up and looks for autographs at airports and in bunches. You guys are all sick. You're weirdos. Cut it out. We should make laws for these people. We don't not build jails, man. Maybe some internment camps or something for you guys till we teach you how to act in public. Because ever since, that the most deadly thing that ever existed on planet Earth, that's how everybody acted at the time. Ever since that point in history, everybody's full-blown ARD out here. Hard R. I don't like it. They're inconsiderate. Stupid people out here. Except for the chat and you, Danny, and,
Thank you.
And everybody's families that are involved with this show. You guys are all cool. Everybody, you guys are all fine. You get it. But then all these other people on planet Earth, my goodness. And they've gotten into everything, Danny. Everything that I like sucks. In the year 2025 and probably going forward. I used to love hip-hop music. I don't listen to hip-hop music anymore. That was like my shit. And if I want to listen to it, I got to listen to the stuff I already listened to a million times when I was younger. I'm not doing that. I'm not one of those guys either. So I guess I'm done. Moving on, I'm doing that with like everything. The NBA, it's G word as well. You know what I mean? Gay. I can spell it right. The dogs won't figure it out at YouTube, TOS. But yeah, that's what it is. And it's lame. And NFL's kind of lame and G-worded these days. I don't like anything. The comic books are G and lame. The movies suck. Everything sucks. Pro wrestling, again, since, that awesome time that we had in the year 2020, we've been flooded with a new kind of wrestling fan that's growing up. I maybe prior to that, but still, they're weird. They don't seem to get things.
But since the Thunderdome, WWE, it wasn't just Vince, but just WWE as a whole, sort of like creative entity, they've seen the fan as something different. They can still see them as the little screens where it's like, right, if we don't like what you're doing at this moment, we can just turn your screen off and put somebody else's screen on. So if you do get lucky enough to come and be one of the participants / audience members, you've got to play ball or your face isn't going to be seen. So since then, it's just the fans, they have been behaving differently. I mean, they've been dickhead fans for ages. I mean, I was one of them at one point when John Cena was like the biggest babyface and he came over here. I booed the shit out of him. There was like little kids sat in front of me and like, why would you do that? And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to get into it with you. I understand that you're here to enjoy yourself, but so am I. I've paid my money too. Yeah. And John Cena needed booing at the time. So I get that. There's been dickheads in wrestling fan crowds. But it did change, and there's a lot more of a look at me, I'm on TV, and I'll do anything to get on TV.
I blame these again.
Yeah,
I think that's the main issue. Especially in a time when everybody was stuck at home watching gazing into the black mirrors, and it's just filling their heads with garbage and nonsense. I remember when all the boomers started becoming conspiracy theorists, and they're all like asking me questions and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, you're going to start asking questions now. So this is like, imagine like Armageddon's happening, and there's like rocks and meteors coming out of the sky. Then I'm going to have people walk up to me and go, hey, what is going on? What's been going on? Something's happening I'm starting to wake up now. You should have woke up 20 years ago. You should have. Remember that incident that happened in that city? And if you don't know anything about it, if you didn't even look into it, that's kind of foolish. Can you really call yourself an adult, live in a country where, your shit just exploded right in front of you, right? And you're just going to take the official stories and just go, yep, okay, I'm just going to keep living life and going in the buildings and things. Not me. I'm not a fucking idiot. I looked into stuff, and that's when I initially did it. So when all this other stuff started happening, I recognized it. So recognizing something like this, like a crowd change or whatever, that's fucking piece of cake to somebody with Bobby the Brains here. I get it. I've seen it. I actually watched the pro wrestling audience in particular, all fandoms really, but the pro wrestling audience morph into something else. And believe it or not, it's not as bad as many of the other ones. It's actually, that's why I can still kind of keep up with it. Generally, you know, wrestling fans are generally nice people. They're not all stalker weirdos, but you know, this is happening a little too much with people showing up. And again, the paparazzi, everybody's a paparazzi now. I think that's a part of it too. Again, these things, and then they want to insert these things into people now. You hear that from like RFK and stuff this week?
Yeah, and there's plenty of people that'll be happy to do that because it's just ease of use. They'll just have ease of use sold to them and they'll be like, oh yeah, I can just go beep with my finger and there we go, I've just paid for my stuff. Or I've got a camera in my eye all the time. And then that just becomes normalized. And then the rest of us have to feel like we're being pressured to just join in or whatever. It's like, but it must have gotten bad if Rhea Ripley had to complain about the airport not stalker situation. I just remember a year or so ago, she was just like, look, that's coming and bothering me in the airport or bothering us in the airport, us lasses. It's not a good idea or a good look, so stop it. So she had to say something. Either it's gotten to the point where multiple people have said something to her for it to be a problem, or she's just actually got bothered by it, and she's quite a big lass. So she won't be as bothered by as many people, I would imagine.
And I've seen her in airports on video, like signing every poster, and she's like, it was like literally an open signing. And she would have never left. It's like people just kept coming and kept coming. It was an endless line. And you know how that works, especially in public. There are these fools out there, too, that's like, who's that? They look famous. People know who that is. And then they run up to him and go, sign this. Get out of here. These people need to get a life for real. It's unbelievable. So, yeah. Humans, get your act together. Stop gazing into your phones. Give yourself at least notice it, okay? Do you notice it sometimes? I very rarely doom scroll or anything like this, but I've caught myself. You can catch yourself doing it, and it's a trap. And I have to, again, I wouldn't even be using any of these platforms. YouTube I'd be using because I like entertainment. But if I wasn't doing a show, I wouldn't be on Twitter. I wouldn't be on anything. Why would I be doing any of that? If I want people in my life, it wouldn't be through a screen unless it's strangers interacting with my art here, right? You know, this ain't the Bill and Bob Tom show where we fucking cook potatoes and ask each other what we should eat for dinner and shit. So, doing a little something a little more high class, high brow, even though it doesn't come off like that. I know, not as classy as this, right? I changed the thumbnail on our last show because I didn't have time to make one this week. So go check that out. Just, you know, we need to beat Bill and Bob and Tom. We got to. Give us 33 views on that video instead of 31. Thank you. So, yep. And what's this name now? I hate it when everybody change. I'm going to tell you, Paladin, I stick to original names. I'm not figuring out all these new names. I can't. What is that? Paladin was better. I'm going to have to finish watching after work. The Expert Analyst. Thank you. That's right. Fix your name. Everything bothers me today, Danny. I can't help it. Even one of my greatest friends and fans of the Dr. Huge show, changing his name. You Sasha Reigns? She did that 1,000 times. I don't even know what her name is anymore. But I call her Sasha Reigns. Right, Sasha Reigns? Mama Reigns is listening. Probably not after you posted that and I played that Alex Jones clip. Probably not after that. But anyway. So here's a rumor or something that I heard. Miles Bourne, the guy from NXT, he's got a little bit of a hearing problem or something. You know who he's dating, Danny? Guess who he's dating?
I don't know. Go on.
Stephanie Vacker.
All right.
And I hate to do this right now, but before you go any further with your Chilean honey or whatever you called her, look at what she sent to me. Look at that. Hello, dear. Thanks for the comment. Welcome to my private X handle, where I finally made a decision to text with a humble and devoted fan, which I am. What's your name and where are you from? So she's in my DMs, Miles Bourne. Just wanted to let you know. Okay? Thank you. That's a story. Who's the hotter couple? Miles Bourne and Stephanie Vacker, or Sasha Reigns or Sasha Banks? Sorry, not you, Sasha Reigns out there. You're not dating Beast Mortos. That would be Sasha Banks. Who's the hotter couple, Danny?
Yeah, obviously Vacker, because the others, like, well.
So you're not into
Sasha
like
Banks, isn't it?
stuff then? Because that's how I picture the Sasha Banks and Beast Morto situation over there. You know, he's wearing all kinds of the leather and the things.
No, you know in American Psycho where Christian Bale's there with the two prostitutes and he's just like having a good time with them both, and he's just focused on looking in the mirror, so like giving himself the gun pose, and that's what he's focused on. I imagine Sasha Banks is looking at herself constantly. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she's one of those chicks that has a mirror on the ceiling over the bed and everything.
Or just in a hand, just with a phone, just, yeah, checking her hair constantly or doing something.
Here's a great rumor. It just popped into my mind. You know who did something crazy like this? Is Alex Rodriguez, the baseball player. Apparently, this is what it was like in page 6 in New York Times or whatever paper it was in. But Alex Rodriguez had a painting of himself above his bed of him as a minotaur, like all jacked and muscular. It's just, that's weird behavior to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Vince's portrait of himself?
Vince McMahon?
So in his house.
No.
I don't know if let me see if I can find it. He's got, I'll find it for another time. Oh no, there we go.
A portrait of himself. That's some crazy work right there.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good. Robin Quivers does the same thing, and she got goofed on for it. They're like, you are a single woman that lives in this big mansion, and you got a portrait of yourself right in like the main room. What are you, a vampire? You know, like, is that something a vampire would do? Well, I think we already read this. I did. But hey, I like to look at that I'm an expert analyst, which I am. And that's why all the other analyst journalists, these people out here, the Sean Ross Saps, why do I even know that name? I hate that I know that name.
Yeah.
I recognize recently he blocked me.
Oh, dear.
He's jealous. He's jealous of my 31 views and all this. How does he get to talk to Triple H and do all this stuff? And I can't. I'm the expert. He even says it in his own profile that he's not a journalist. I am. I'm saying it. I'm doing it. Live, right in front of everybody. And you all should retweet this and share this and subscribe on YouTube. Come watch on YouTube right now. If we don't get, swear to God, if we don't get more than 31, find everybody in a boxing ring, YouTube, TOS. All right. So what else do I have?
I sent you that in your DMs, just so you know.
All right. You're in my DMs now?
Yeah. It's only the left half of the picture. That's the only one I could find.
Let's try this. We're doing it live, folks. Before NXT. Oh, wow. He's cool. Hold on. Let's try to get this on screen for everybody. We're going to add. We're going to go to this. And then we're going to go to this. Look at that. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes. Nice house, Vince. Doxed.
Nice outfit.
Swagged out.
Yeah.
Man, Vince McMahon would love me. Hire me, Vince, still, even though you don't have a wrestling company. Whatever wrestling company you want to put together, I'm your Vince Russo of the future. I like all this. How did you not incorporate this into the show somehow? You didn't realize that this was insane? I would have told you. I'm not scared of you. You're like 100 years old. Unless you're a vampire again, which could be. Because, who does that? Well, there we go, everybody. Vince McMahon sitting in front of a portrait of himself. It's just so weird. People are weird.
Yep.
But I'm over here saying that while I got portraits of, half-naked guys behind me. Like Triple H and The Rock. Yeah. Well, I guess we're in the same club then. The Kiss My Ass Club. All right. There we go. Anyway, up next. I don't even know. Again. But a lot of this wrestling news just is boring and stupid. I guess we should talk about Evolution Part 2. Electric Boogaloo here. We're getting JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the championship NXT match. We're getting the Nikki Bella and Trish probably in a battle royal. They're setting up to take on the champion, some champion. They didn't really say who at another pay-per-view. And then we have, they didn't announce it yet, but Bayley and Lyra is going to be happening with the man involved, I'm sure. And they did announce this match, a fatal four-way of tag teams. So Roxy and Raquel are going to go up against a Raw tag team, SmackDown tag team, and an NXT team. Throw all these girls out there to showcase them. And what's the other one? Rhea and Io. I think that will be the main event. Which, Rhea Ripley, she came out last night. Whoo! Stunk the place up on the mic.
It's the shits.
It was bad again. I say this every time I bring up Rhea Ripley, and they just keep giving her promos. I thought we made it illegal for Rhea Ripley to have a mic in front of her. It should be, because she came out last night and she just kept saying, "That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted." I get, I'm sure they gave her certain lines, and then she's kind of trying to wake her mind up. Something was going on, jet lag or something from Saudi Arabia or some shit. It was awful. But all her promos are awful. Can we just stop with it? Could you give her a manager, please? She stinks on the mic. Her voice stinks. The faces stink. The Evolution poster stinks. And it's not because it's just a poster of all the lady wrestlers. Front and center, Rhea Ripley doing a stupid face. I don't like it.
It's the shits.
So she's not winning me over, Danny. I've been waiting for her to be like, do something different, but it just continues to get worse.
Give her Heyman.
Yeah.
That'd be, and that's not just me just being like, oh yeah, just Heyman can get thrown with anybody. But they really want to push Rhea Ripley. She's one of their top stars. So if you really want her to be as big as you want her to be, give her Heyman. Go put her with Seth and Heyman and everybody. Because he will do exactly what you just said then. Well, he'll compensate for what you've just said then with actually crap on the mic. Oh, it's not that she's that crap. It's just she's not that great, and she doesn't have that much to say that's ever new. So she's just saying the same old bloody stuff.
It's the sound of her voice. It's the accent. It's that deep voice with the accent, and then the clown makeup and all this, and like I said, the licking the air and the whole thing to me is super cringe. So I get it. The kids all love it. They like it. Have at it. It's not for me. Give me Liv Morgan over that. All day. I bet that much more believable and just real to me. Rhea Ripley is not like real, and that's crazy because I always gravitate towards the bigger pro wrestler. Looks more like a badass and all this stuff. She's actually lost a lot of weight recently.
Yeah.
She's cutting weight or doing something. She looks a lot different. So try to keep an eye out for that because I don't think it's just me. They always try to make her look really big. And you know what? I can almost pinpoint it. The last time they did this was like a couple months ago. And they had this thing backstage where they were showing her back off, her back muscles type deal. And like the shadows getting ready for a match. Which is something you would do more with a male character. But it is a pretty impressive back, I must say. But then again, it just reminded me of Conan the Barbarian. They have the scene in it where they're showing, Arnold Schwarzenegger's back muscles. And I'm like, that's what that is. So I posted it. And of course, then ever since then, she lost like 20 pounds. Looks very
that is Raquel Rodriguez's little gimmick as well, though. Showing off the back.
Her back muscles. You know what your back muscles, Raquel?
It's the shits.
Welsh. I can never say Raquel without saying Welsh for some reason. Yeah. Even though I don't even know who she is. She's an old entertainer, I guess. Yeah. That match happened. We spoke on it. You probably didn't even watch it. You didn't have to. Everybody wearing those black jumpsuits in the middle of the desert must have felt amazing.
But I mean, they can have the hair out. Ooh.
I know.
That's not even me saying we should be going over and telling them how to behave over there. We should probably not bother. There's other people that would pay them money to have pay-per-views there. It's just a bit, yeah.
At least they're not in T-shirts. Remember, they had to wear those jumpsuits and T-shirts because they're like, whoa, there's some curves going on in WWE. Yeah. We gotta you might as well put them in scrubs. That's the best thing to do. Scrubs make any lady look horrendous.
Yeah, WWE made their intentions clear, though, on that first Crown Jewel or whatever the first Saudi show was, because although they didn't have the women in person there with not much on the big screens, they put a little promo for SmackDown or Raw or something, and it just had loads of lasses in underwear. And it's I don't know, that was just, to me, that was like Vince saying, right, we're taking your money and we're slowly going to change you into seeing this, and let's see how we get there.
So what do you say about 7 more years until the booty cheeks are fully out in Saudi Arabia? I mean, they're already way out behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as they look on the Twitter page or Instagram or whatever, it's like, there you go. That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the jumpsuit thing.
Yep, these Instagram models, they love Saudi Arabia. They go there all the time. I don't know if you know about this, everybody, but like I said, the booty cheeks are everywhere behind the scenes. Let's get them in front of the public. Let's change the world with butt cheeks.
One butt cheek at a time.
Yep. Big fake boobs. One at a time, right, Charlotte Flair? Right? No, don't boo her. I'm looking for my woos. Got to put it right next to the booze just in case. Again, I need to retract the live on the show right now. Get liking and subscribing. That we're going to make a retraction on the Saturday show. Ric Flair didn't write that he crumbed his pants instead of pooping his pants. That was a fake account. I guess that was a fake account. I didn't see it. I had to actually dig to find that tweet. because it didn't exist back when I was doing the show. So I was just assuming, right? I figured he deleted it or something. And then that original pants pooping Reddit post was taken down as well. I reported on that, but I don't know. It's very weird that all this is happening. I think Rick is actually going into surgery again. Guy, he's showing his belly and stuff to us. We don't want to see any of that. All right. It looks like a horror movie. No. But it's funny. Again, I'm looking through your Twitter, Rick, and a lot of pictures of you in bars still after, getting all that stuff done. And now you're going back in. Do you seeing a pattern here? Oh, let's drink to that.
What?
He can't help himself, can he? It's just, yeah.
Nope, I see a pattern. Yep. He can't help himself. He's love wooing and all this stuff. And if you're having these kind of issues, maybe, I don't know, maybe the rumors are true. Maybe they're not. It's up to me to figure that out, I guess.
I think he's still in the Territories days, like in his head.
Mm.
And he's still just living that lifestyle. Or he thinks he's going that fast because he's so old now. He's maybe not going quite as fast, but to him, he thinks he is.
It just makes me laugh. I'm looking at my notes. How quickly we just glossed over evolution and the whole thumbnail and everything, like the show's supposed to be about, and gone right back into just nonsense with Ric Flair. That's probably not even true. But hey,
Too many women wrestling matches. People don't want to see that much. They don't need to see 50-50. Still have women on the show. They don't have to wrestle. Pay-per-view is a bit too much. They've got fake tits Bella back for that purpose, so that's just, yeah. Well, actually, I think they've both had work done now. So yeah, I used to call one fake tits Bella and one real tits Bella. That was how you differentiated between the two. But I think they're both in the same boat now. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, if you have to get her back, it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, they go into that well again. Trish and Nikki. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a women's pay-per-view, and it's only the second one. They can still go. Put them on there. Natalia was on the poster. They put her in the way back. So disrespectful. It's just everything about it. I don't know. Everything bothered me today. Even this poster. Just there were two women on the poster. I didn't even know who they were. How about that? I'm an expert at this. I watch all this horse shit. I saw two people. I'm like, who's that? Unless the photos were so wonky that I couldn't even figure it out.
They do that with Photoshop sometimes. They make people look very different to what they actually look like.
There was, those NXT ones, you've been seeing them all day probably out here in the chats and whatnot. That the NXT promo photos where it's like their heads are tilted in. It's like the worst. So like the top of their head's really big and then it gets really small. And then they always have like a funny face. Like they're making not like a tough face or anything, like funny faces. And no, but you don't have to scream in every pic and have your mouth open. That's so hack and so tired and so Mr. Beast and so Raven and everything else. It stinks. But yeah, the way that they shoot these, they did that with Ricky Starks one time. And his forehead looked like this big. It was huge. It looked like the Family Guy alien with the wig on. So, a Family Guy, American Dad.
American Dad.
Yeah. I know everything. How about this for a story? And this isn't wrestling. I mean, I keep looking at the lady notes, but I went over them like lightning fast. And what are we going to say about it? I break a leg, ladies. That's it. So, Hogan and Bischoff, they got that little freestyle wrestling deal that's going to happen. I think they only sold 300 tickets, though, so far for like a 3,000 plus seat arena, or at least that's what they're trying to sell for it to make it look good. And 300 tickets. I don't know. Well,
are they expensive? I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm not even sure because I didn't look into it. I think that this first show where they're going to hold these matches are like in Ohio or something. That's probably why. First of all, like you should probably get to like Miami or a destination where people would want to go to, not just for the show and actually would fly in for it. But yeah, I see Ben Askren. Do you know UFC fighters at all?
Not many, but some.
Yes,
Only a few.
Askren is like a great wrestler, all-time wrestler, like real wrestling, and got beat up in the UFC pretty good. But he was great before, a great record. He was on the poster of this show. I actually recognized him, and I'm kind of like, yeah, they get the mats out and everything on the poster. It looks all right. I mean, I would give it a shot. And especially if they can make it more like reality based, where they're kind of following them around with a camera, it should be pretty easy to do these days. But yeah, 300 is this true, Eric? And people, of course, are busting Eric Bischoff's balls because of this, because you know how he talks about AEW and what they need to do to sell more tickets and whatnot. So that's the story.
There's a lot of wrestling already, though, so I don't envy them trying to sort of like get into it at the minute when everyone's doing everything and people have only got so much money that they can spend on stuff, and they don't want to spend money on a new promotion. I mean, Bischoff and Hogan have the problems, and a lot of people have a problem with them and will not go anywhere near them just because it's Bischoff and Hogan. But on paper, it's like an ex-promoter and an ex-wrestler who was at the top of the world at one point. That should work. That should make something maybe not completely watchable, but at least something.
Hey, you know what? As long as it's not AI slop, I'm kind of cool with it. You want to show potatoes on screen and stuff and bore everybody to death? I would rather that than AI slop. And this is actually people competing. They're actually going to try to make it into a show. Do it. There's a million shows of everything out here. Everything's already... We've gone way off the rails, Dan, with all this. And that's what I'm saying. With AI, can you imagine what it's going to be like in 2030? I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. There will be no need for entertainment anymore, really. Everybody will be in their own world of entertainment.
Yeah, they'll just type in a prompt of like, make me a show about this, this, and this, and it'll just be loads of self-inserts and people saving the world in their own imagination. And
do you think? I wonder if there will be some kind of like branching off, because I'm not going with that. I'm not watching anything that's AI. I don't care how cool it looks, because I'm not a child. I grew up with record players and cassette tapes and CDs.
Yeah,
doing all that is so not reality that I'm not doing it. I know what that is, and that to me, it's like benign evil, which is the scariest type of evil to me. And to explain this in a way, it's so innocuous, it's so like under the radar and seems great, and it's going to strip your soul from you. That's how I see it. And I would rather do my own things with my own faculties that were given to me by whatever out there, whatever you believe. I believe that too, right? Whatever that is, whatever's making me conscious right now and speaking, I'm sticking with that. I don't need anything else. I'll have an assistant here and there. I'll have some bots working for me to do things in a computer where I can't get in there and do it myself. Sure. But as far as putting myself in matrices or inserting them in me or whatever, I'm not doing it. Take that, Annie Christ. I'm not doing it. You want me to die? Sure, I'll take my chances with that over whatever you're setting up. So I'm telling you, it's going to be worse. 100%. You heard it here first. Or maybe you didn't. But maybe you did. Right? Do I like CDs? I love CDs. CDs! Oh my goodness. How dare you? I'm trying to drop jewels and knowledge on everybody out here, and you just come in and blow it all up with dirty talk.
I No, I think you're right, though. I think it will split off. Like I was going to say that earlier when we talked about people getting chips in the brain and just letting that become the norm. So a group of people will just see that and be like, that is not for me. I want something more traditional, more creative, that is going to challenge me and surprise me, not just be like, oh, look, I've saved the world again in my own little imagination, and I've got the girl and got all the money and I'm really rich again. And just because that's what people just stick with, given the option to. It's all very self-indulgent, isn't it? So that's where I see it going for so many people, but not everybody.
And you see these kids, the way that they like freak out, or if you take out an iPad or a phone away from them, how bad do you think it's going to be when they're literally in the Matrix playing with Teletubbies and you pull them out of that? They're going to kill you. I mean, kids have done it for less for over Halo. there were kids killing their parents over Halo. What do you think when they're in it? You know, and that is, I'm telling you, that's right around the corner, everybody. I know a lot of people can't they even, I don't even understand what's going to, like, again, 5 years from now, I don't even know what that's going to look like. Who knows what that's going to look like? So,
Yep. So go on, finish.
So we're just in for a really crazy time these next 5 years.
I was saying, and people are just going to help speed that along, because it's like everyone just, after, I think we said last week, smartphones, just sort of like expanded upon the reality TV and the stage show, like Jerry Springer and stuff, where people get 15 minutes of fame, but you had to be in the right place at the right time. Whereas now with smartphones, you can just film yourself and everyone thinks this is my 15 minutes or 15 seconds. It's too aggressive. And
how about this?
5 years.
It's even beyond that right now, where Haktua, a total industry plant stuff, where now we're just having corporations come together, analyzing all the data, know where everybody that thinks, what everybody's thinking, and what they're into, and blah blah blah, and then they set up these things like this, and then they just push it and push it and push it until everybody's like, dude, it was mind-blowing. Around this time, people were all walking up to me, or people I know, like, Hawk Duel, right? And this and that, Hawk Duel, and this and that. I'm like, wow, this is, first of all, it's hack. And I've said it from the jump. I'm like, so this girl saying Hawk Tua in a street, whatever those videos were, it's like, it's just wild what the future is. And to the point where she's like, so we are living in Black Mirror already. It's just going to go in overdrive soon. Like, what happens if these things do become like an AGI, where it's like they become somewhat self-aware and they're doing like these magic tricks? You know what I think is going to happen? This is what it's going to be more like. It's not going to be so fantastical. It's just the AI is going to be so good at reading everybody and what their thoughts already and everything, that they're going to create realities for everybody, even just through these phones. And then everybody's going to be so off the reservations into their own stuff already. That will be the precursor to then luring them into their own matrices that are, constructed around them, where they're literally like hanging on ropes and just like feeding tube in the belly situation. But this is like the start of something like that, where they're gonna misinform everybody so much, and then call me a comedy show misinformation, right? And that's what's gonna set the initial herd gathering.
I don't think with that far away from what you've just said. Yeah, it's a little bit more down the road, but I don't think we're that far away from people getting chips in the brains and just being like, "What's that? You've misbehaved. We're going to put you on pause," and just power you down. Or even worse, you're still conscious, but you just can't move anything, and you're like trying to move, and it's just like, no, they've locked me down.
That definitely could happen. But I'm thinking more like we wouldn't even be able to get to that point. Because after I saw what's been happening in the past 5 years with all the medical business, if you catch my drift, with all this stuff going on, they don't want us around. And it's, to me, I think, because they're not going to need anybody in the future, or a whole lot of able-bodied people, because they'll have robots and they'll have humanoid robots and things like that. That's not science fiction anymore. It's already here. So I'm not crazy.
They'll need replacement organs as well, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So
but then again,
some of us are useful, and if they can convince us just to say goodbye ourselves, then there you go. There's some nice organs.
Coach, I love. He's like, when is Keanu James coming back? Honestly, I was thinking this the other night, in between all this, my crazy thoughts, right, and what's going to be happening soon. But yeah, she's good in the ring. She's been working out. I saw pictures with her in Charlotte and everything. I don't know. She's great. They need to bring her back. Stat. And do you like CDs? Oh, that was old. So that was even older, Coach. Oh, I get it. I get it now. Look at me talking to the chat. Yep. Everybody get retweeting this, like this, go to YouTube, like all that stuff, because nobody else is going to find it if you don't watch and interact and all that horse shit. Thank you. I'm trying to catch up to this guy. Trying to get them. Oh, it looks like he's like selling bricks or something right there. All right, what else do I have? Here's a few other notes from last night real quick. Karrion Kross beat up Sami Zayn backstage. So he lost on Saturday. Everybody was very upset. Kross is still in your life, though, Sami Zayn. So get used to him and his wife. And then the rumor is Kross can't take back bumps.
Oh.
Have you heard that? And that's supposedly the reason why the WWE likes him, but they're not going to consider him as a top star because he just can't take. I don't know if it's can't or won't, or if he's got some kind of weird injury or whatever, but I don't know. Has he never taken a back bump? I can't remember these things.
I'm just trying to think that now. Yeah.
Maybe it's not even back bump. It just says like bumps. So it looks like he was bumping to me. Yep. Cody Rhodes heel. There was more rumors of this the past week or so. And now that's switched over to Randy Orton might be heel, which it could have already happened because Raw and SmackDown happened yesterday.
Right.
Also, Raw was 2 hours early, which I had no idea. Again, I'm an expert. I'm an analyst. I'm a journalist. And I didn't know it was at 6 o'clock. So I missed most of it. Turned it on shortly after. Who gives a shit? I turned it on. And the best segment out of the show, easily, Gunther comes out, talks crap on Goldberg. And it was a great promo, the way he did it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Then Seth Rollins comes out with the wise man, the briefcase, showing him that I want your title too, blah, blah, blah. CM Punk then comes out, chases Seth Rollins down, beats him up, beats him out of the ring. Rollins runs up into the crowd. So CM Punk then turns around. I guess Gunther said something to him or touched him a little bit, and he pushed Gunther on the ground. Gunther looking like a straight bitch last night. And he's just looking up at him. And, Punk's like, oh, get out of my way or this and that or whatever. Then Rollins is up in the crowd calling CM Punk a bitch and all this stuff. And LA Knight attacks him from behind. They start fighting in the whole atrium area. And that was that. It was a great segment. Best part of it. It shows you the layers that they're actually... It's not just like, oh, I'm going for the title and now I'm just beefing with this guy. Like Rollins is now fighting with two guys, technically three. He's picking another fight with Gunther because he might want that title. So there's a lot going on. I'm liking it. CM Punk even went up to LA Knight later on in the evening, like, hey, you get back to the back of the line because I'm the one fighting Rollins. And LA Knight's like, basically told him, yeah, no. And then took off, yeah. And that was that. But yeah, Monday Night Raw, as far as the main event scene, those 4 guys, I love it. You know what we don't have, though, Danny?
Yeet!
That's why. It makes that main event scene so much better and easier to watch without the yeets.
No yeets.
Mm-hmm. So, who do you like out of these guys? Well, I know you like Punk. I mean, I like Punk. He's exciting to watch in wrestling. I like Seth Rollins, of course. Gunther's one of my favorites. And LA Knight's one of my favorites. I'm living large on Monday night as far as the main event.
Yeah, all 4 of those are solid. Not a huge fan of Rollins, like, character, but I don't complain about his work or anything like that. It's just, when he gets like this, it gets old pretty quickly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's nothing wrong with anything he does in the ring, really.
And KO's neck really hurts now. He's like, he never really had problems with it before, the symptoms of what they told him he had. But now it's like he can't feel his arms and legs sometimes. It's a whole thing.
Shit.
Yeah. So he's just waiting to get surgery. So there's some news there. A few more other things. Oh, yeah, there was a power outage during SmackDown in Saudi Arabia. On their end, they pointed that out. It's their fault. And I missed the Orton and Cody promo because of it, but I missed the match too. Who needs to see all that? You know? So I was that's boring, and I don't really need to talk about it. Hopefully Randy Orton turned heel the other night. I'm keeping the spoilers to not even to myself. I'm not even looking at spoilers. That's not what I do. I was thinking about it. I'm like, should I just write down spoilers and tell everybody tonight? No. Go watch it for yourself if you want to. Or Randy Orton might be bad soon. I would rather it Cody Rhodes. Looks like a villain, acts like a villain. And Randy Orton's been evil for so long.
Yeah. His theme song's just about being schizophrenic or whatever they're trying to go for. It's just, yeah.
Psycho Clown. What's that?
I just said turn Cody.
Yeah.
Did you see that he's in the new Naked Gun, even if it's just a cameo?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they released the trailer for the new Naked Gun. It looks shite, in my opinion. But
really?
Yeah, Cody's in there. It's not the same tone as the original. It's got Liam Neeson instead of Leslie Nielsen, and it's like, ho, they've got similar names. But Leslie Nielsen was more slapstick, and he'd fall through the window and land on the bad guy, whereas Liam Neeson's just like, you've got to take me seriously. I'm always really serious. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of funny, but that's just it's filmed really different. It's just dark and violent for the sake of it. But yeah, Cody's in the new Naked Gun, even briefly.
They are all doing movies now. Seth was supposed to be in Captain America until they edited him out.
Right.
Which was oh, go ahead.
Has Seth not been given a WWE movie yet? Because Moxley got one, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm sure he did. What did he do?
They must have stopped that years ago. They stopped that WWE Studios stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure Moxley got one. Or Dean Ambrose, anyway.
I
can't remember.
I'll have to look into it. That would be hilarious if I saw it. Dean Ambrose, to me, without any wrestling involved, he is like a complete dud. Like, I remember when he went on the Stone Cold podcast, how awful that was?
Yeah.
Swear to God, if you did that on my podcast, Moxley, I would go and hit you with some electrical wires at Crystal Lake. I think that was like part 6 or something. One of those parts. I would do something in one of those movies to you to make sure you didn't come back for a year at least in a boxing ring. YouTube TOS. Yep. All right. I think that does it, Danny. We said it all. You know. We can always come back Saturday and say a lot more.
Yep.
Or any night of the week that I'm not busy anyway.
It's good to get things off your chest. So, yeah, hold on.
It's a little therapeutic, especially the beginning of the show. I got many more notes ready for another show. So if you're available during the week, just let me know. And shout out to everybody out here, the Mac Diesels and coaches and paladins and the Sasha Reigns, one of the greatest correspondents in the game. And of course, Vince McMahon. We wouldn't be here without Vince McMahon and this lifestyle, right? None of us would be. So thank you to Vince McMahon as well. And don't forget to check out all the links. Use that QR code. Go to Linktree. We got a store there. Got a YouTube. Got multiple YouTubes. Got TikTok. Got the Apple Podcasts, the SoundCloud links, the music page. Got the Dr. Hugenstein music channel on YouTube. And subscribe here. We need subscribers on YouTube. This is crazy, Danny. We're creeping along 1 subscriber a week on YouTube. Really? Not as good as Bill, Bob, and Tom and their potatoes. So put us over. Tell everybody that we exist, because the platform certainly will not do that for whatever reason. And we'll talk with you later. Have a good rest of your night. I'm going to go watch NXT and eat a sandwich.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Good night.